You're in tune to Chicago's most popular college music radio station. 89.3 is WKKC. This is Focus Talk, and I'm your host, Dennis Snipe. Well, what do you have a lot of, or you would possibly want more of? Well, my answer is money. So today we're talking about money, as well as a few other things that may help you down the road. Joining me today is Miss Donna Werner, who is from the Werner Business Group. Donna, how are you today?
I am marvelous, Dennis, and you?
I am great. Good. Actually, I am excellent and getting better. I used to work with Philip Jackson at Chicago Public Schools, and he would say that all the time. He said, "I'm excellent, Dennis, and I'm getting better."
I like that.
So I've adopted that. Philip, I'm going to send you my tie. How are you today?
I am great. It's a marvelous day.
It is. It is. Let's talk about some of the different things that people need as it relates to money and retirement and moving down the road and doing different things. Everyone seems to think, well, maybe I don't have enough. How can I get more of? And what little I have, how can I make sure that I hold on to it? Is that a pretty good, I guess, litmus test or understanding of the whole thing, or am I leaving out a few things?
No, I think you're right. I mean, people really do want more money. Everybody wants more money. Everybody wants to save more. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants more investments. They want to have a safe retirement. They want it to be comfortable. But the fact is, they might not be doing what they need to do to make that happen.
So what do you need to do?
You need to save.
Okay.
You need to discipline yourself. You need to track your expenses. You need to make sure that you're not spending more than you need to spend, to make sure that you're not letting your impulse and the things that you want today keep you from considering your future, which is down the line, especially people that have families.
Well, here's the age-old situation. Donna, I don't make enough money to save. Every penny is accounted for. The kids, the mortgage, car note, insurance, and then what little I leave for groceries and medical bills. I don't have any money to save. Can you help me?
I have two answers for that.
Okay.
One is, let's consider that somebody told you that whatever your dream car is, let's say your dream car is a 2015 Lexus something. Mm-hmm. And let's say somebody told you that all you needed to come up with was $100 a month, and you could have that Lexus in your driveway. You could have the keys to it.
Okay.
Are you going to really tell me that you could not find $100 if you were able to get your dream car for $100 a month? That's the one response. So it's kind of a rhetorical question, but really not.
Okay.
The second response is, there's a gentleman named David Bach who wrote a book titled The Automatic Millionaire. And one of the things that he did in his book is talked about everyone has what he considers their latte factor.
Latte factor.
Latte factor, like a latte from Starbucks.
Okay.
So what he found is that people really spend money that they don't know they're spending, or they have unnecessary spending. So, and I know I'm guilty of that, as are many other people, where I can have a freezer full of food or a refrigerator full of food, but I will buy my lunch every day.
Okay.
Or I will, even though I have coffee at home, I'll stop and get a coffee, a 7-Eleven, a Starbucks, a Dunkin' Donuts, or whatever. And those are the kind of things that are hidden spending patterns and activities and habits that people have, and they're really not aware of it because it's kind of the water they swim in, and they're not considering that those are really dollars they could put somewhere else.
Now, am I to confuse that with disposable income? Is that the same thing, or is that something different?
That's really something different. Disposable income would be something that's left over after you've taken care of all of your living needs, like housing, food, transportation, and so forth. So everybody does need to eat.
Okay.
We would like to have 3 meals a day, but it's a matter of how we do those 3 meals a day, or how we fill up our car, how we, for example, use currency exchanges instead of banks. A lot of people still in this day and age use currency exchanges, and they're paying fees for cashing a check when they can have a free checking account and never have to pay another currency exchange fee.
Okay.
So part of it's lifestyle, part of it's mentality and attitude, and just even being exposed to some of the different principles and ways of dealing with your money.
Okay. Now, Donna, can you give me a 3-point plan that will help me out of the necessary financial conundrum, let's say that I may be in, so that I can move to the next level and kind of see a little break of day? Sure.
One of the things I would say you need to do is to track your spending.
Okay.
Track it. I know that the D word, discipline, I know that's hard for a lot of people. Right? The snake, the cat, the hissing, whatever. Yeah, I get that. But it's really important for those people who may know Bible verses. There's a Bible verse that says you need to know the state of your flocks. And it's the same kind of thing. So you need to know the disposition of what you already have. That's number one. Mm-hmm. The second thing is look at your debt. Because if you're looking at what you're spending, part of that spending probably is attached to debt as well. Debt meaning everything from credit cards to revolving accounts to
the dreaded
car notes, student loan. Oh yeah, that's for me. But you need to look at your debt, because when you look at it and how you're basically throwing money away in interest, that's money that could be placed elsewhere. Okay. And then the third thing I would say is look at where you want to go. One of the things that a lot of people have not considered, even with regard to retirement, is how much money do we need in retirement? So a simple way to think about that is, how much money are you living on right now? What is your annual income right now? If you look at your annual income and break it down, even back it up to how much you're getting per paycheck and how much of that is left over, if you were to just be conservative and say, okay, let's just keep the number simple. Let's say I make $10,000 a year. That's obviously very low, but let's just use that for simple numbers' sake. $10,000 a year. And let's say you're going to live 20 years in retirement. And mind you, people are living longer these days. That's, in simple math, what, $200,000? Mm-hmm. So if you made $10,000 a year and you live just 20 years into retirement, you need at least $200,000 to keep the same standard of living.
At least.
Okay. So given the small conservative numbers that I just gave you, let's be honest. If all you have in your reserves right now is $200,000, that's something that needs to change. Let's put it that way. Because most
trouble.
Yeah, seriously. And a lot of people don't even think about retirement until they're really too old to do something about it. Okay. I have more than one client that's 50 plus years old, and they want to put $150 a month away for retirement. Well, again, using simple math, what is that going to give you in the course of a year? And you're talking about retiring in 15 years. So more people now are, they're kind of hopeless with regard to retirement. They already know that I'm never going to be able to retire. You know, I'm going to have to keep working full-time or part-time or get 2 or 3 jobs because Social Security, you know, there's things in the news about what's going on with Social Security. There are all kind of things happening in government. People that have tax-deferred retirement accounts, your 401ks, your 403bs, all those things that the government has not yet gotten their little fingers in. Mm-hmm. I ask this question probably at least once a week. So do you think taxes in the future are going to go up or down based on what the government's doing right now? And I'll ask you that, Dennis.
Up.
Right. So if you have if you have a retirement account or an emergency savings fund that has not yet been taxed, you're setting yourself up for a big tax hit whenever the government does have the chance to get their fingers into that pot that you have set aside.
So what do I do?
What do you do? First of all, figure out what you need to save.
Okay.
Do you have an emergency savings fund? And this is obviously a rhetorical question. Do you have an emergency savings fund? If you don't have an emergency savings fund, you need to set one up, because that's one of the things that's going to keep you from having to take out loans, payday loans, title loans, credit card loans, all those kind of things. If you don't have an emergency savings fund, that sets you up to have to borrow from somebody. You need to actually figure out how you're going to save. Once you track your spending and your expenses, see what you really can cut back on and see how much of that money you can start setting aside and setting it up in something that you are going to leave alone. Now, those of us who have issues with discipline and we're not used to saving, we may need to trick ourselves, and we may need to put our money in vehicles that we are not so easily able to get to it. Yeah. You need to set
accessibility.
Right. Mm-hmm. If it's liquid, if it's too liquid and you can get to it too quickly, the chances are you will use it. You'll spend it. Mm-hmm. So we need to find those ways and those vehicles to put that money away where it's not so easy for us to get to it. Because in the time that it'll take you to try to get that money, hopefully that emotion has died down and you start thinking about the fact that, I really did set this aside for my retirement. I won't use it for this, whatever this thing is that you want to get at the time.
Okay. All right. Now, most recently, we're going to shift gears here just a little bit.
Sure.
Most recently, you participated in Money Smart Week.
I did.
And we also, we interviewed, if I'm not mistaken, Haleo Torres.
Okay.
From Money Smart Week. Give me a little insight as to what Money Smart Week is all about.
Money Smart Week is a really exciting week, I think. It was started by the Chicago Federal Reserve Bank, mm-hmm. and it is a week's worth of free educational financial literacy events all around Chicagoland and all across the country, in fact. It starts on a Saturday and it ends on a Saturday. It's in April every year. And different partners get together as sponsors and they host events. So the library systems, they're sponsors. There are private companies that are sponsors, nonprofit organizations that are sponsors, individuals who do education, who do finance, who do nonprofit services. They all host events all across the country or all around the area. And those events are for specific target audiences. There's a youth track. There's a small business track for people who want a budget. There's a budgeting track. Everything related to financial literacy that you could possibly even consider is offered during Money Smart Week. Okay. Now, what role did the Werner Business Group play in Money Smart Week? This is the fourth consecutive year that the Werner Business Group has been involved in Money Smart Week as a sponsor and as a presenter. So I presented 2 workshops. One was in Bridgeview at the library there. The other one was in Oak Park at the library there. Okay. Awesome. Now, I kind of started from, we jumped right into it, but I did not get any information as to who you are and the Werner Business Group. Well, thank you for asking. You're very welcome. I am Donna Werner from the Werner Business Group. We do everything from retirement planning, benefit counseling. We do education and training because one of the things that I believe very strongly is that people need to really understand what money is about and what saving is about before mm-hmm. they make decisions. Because I think people will make good decisions if they have complete information. And given that I spent 15 years of my career, which is the majority of my career in one area, in education, everything I do has an educational backdrop to it. So I really like to let people know about some of the things I didn't know about before I started in the industry. Mm-hmm. I found out that there are a lot of higher level financial principles that people aren't aware of that can be used to help grow their wealth and grow their retirement savings and those kind of things. So I'm an educator, benefit counselor. I help people understand their employee benefits at work, and I also help them figure out what's going on with their money at home. All right. Awesome. Now, if someone wanted to get more information, possibly read up on what you do in finance, retirement, insurance, all of that, what's the website that they can go to? The website is Werner Business Group. Werner is spelled W-E-R, N-E-R, business, B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S, group, Group.com, wernerbusinessgroup.com. Awesome. I've learned a few things today, and I will definitely apply that to my life so that it can be sweeter toward the end as opposed to the other way around. That's good to hear, Dennis. Indeed. Anytime I can educate somebody, it makes a happy day for me. So will you come back and give us some more information at a later date? I'd like that. Awesome. I look forward to that. Donna Werner, thank you very much for your time, for your talent, and for your dedication. Thank you.